Hello everybody, it's Aaran back from Screenstars here once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom, and today I am reviewing the psychological horror thriller End Trip, a film that is written and directed by Aaran J. Rome, who even stars in the movie too, and it is a film that is absolutely fascinating, a real character piece that I honestly found really engaging and really fascinating, this movie. And this film focuses on, there is like an Uber driver, like these Uber drivers that drive around cities and pick people up like, posh taxis, I suppose. Well, this film has its version of like the Uber drivers, and the director, Aaran J. Rome, is one of these drivers. And he's a really nice guy. He goes out of his way to help his passengers, and he's constantly texting home to his loving fiancée, etc, etc. And he picks up this passenger, played by Dean J. West, and they get on really, really well. This Dean J. West gets into his life, asks him all these personal questions, and they get on really well. This passenger's having a bad time with his girlfriend, and he basically says, look, let me just pay you and just drive me around for as long as I would need to, and he agrees to it. There's the Uber driver, it doesn't matter to him, does it? And they get really close and they get really friendly and they become really, real pals throughout this night. But all in the while there's another story arc going on where it was very confusing initially for me because I couldn't get a handle on what was going on. Bear with it, the movie, because it does eventually make sense. There's like another story arc going on where this guy gets into bed with what you think is his girlfriend and what have you, and she completely doesn't recognise him, and it looks like she's been abducted by some guy who claims he's her boyfriend but she knows isn't the boyfriend. And there's this strange story arc going on alongside this Uber cab drive thing that's going on. And that was the biggest jarring thing for me. Even though they both worked, they just didn't make sense to me, and I couldn't figure it out. And it's the real genius of this movie, and I can't say much more than that because it'll spoil it. But needless to say, this film essentially focuses on a serial killer who is like a chameleon, and he basically takes over people's lives, and I mean literally takes over people's lives. To the point where he makes himself look like them and everything. And again, I don't want to say much more than that because we'll get into spoiler territory, and I really, really want you, if you're going to watch this movie, to go in reasonably blind as I did, knowing that this is kind of what it's about, which is what I kind of did after reading the synopsis. I can't even say it. After reading about the plot of the movie. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. From beginning to end, the first 40 minutes there was definitely an air of confusion going on, and I genuinely didn't know what was going on. But when it all fits into place, it's like a jigsaw puzzle about halfway through, just a bit before it all fits together beautifully, and it is such a reveal, and it makes so much sense to you that it amazes you. It really, really does. The performances here are all outstanding, I feel. The guy that plays Brandon, the Uber driver, the director of the movie, Aaran J. Rome, does a fantastic job of playing this really down-to-earth, approachable, decent bloke who drives this cab. But the star of the show is Dean J. West, who plays the passenger, and we don't even get a name for him, who absolutely blew me away with his performance. It was believable, manic, over the top, sinister, everything that you could want from a performance he gave in the role that he was asked to do for this movie. And I've got to say, this movie was shocking at times, really tension filled, scary when it needed to be, and utterly charming too when it needed to be. And everything this movie attempted to do completely succeeded, and I can't really give it an awful lot of faults. I could have done in the first half an hour or so, because I was genuinely confused as to what was going on, and then when it lifted the curtain and revealed all, I was just so blown away with how clever it was created and written and filmed and presented to you, the audience member. It felt fresh and new and original, and I've got to say, I absolutely love this movie, and I strongly recommend it. You see it, guys. In regards to any weaknesses, yeah, I mean, if you're not a patient film watcher, you may lose patience with the movie in the first half an hour, 40 minutes. But, you know, hang tough with this movie, guys, because it's utterly worth it. It really, really is. The payoff, I think, is really worth it. I thought it was very original and very creative, this movie, and I didn't realise until I was looking into it after the movie that the guy that played Brandon, the cab driver, was actually the writer and director. So I give him a lot of credit. He's created a really fantastic movie here, guys. Really creepy and sinister, but charming too at the same time. It really, really had everything, and for me, this is a clear 8 out of 10. I would watch this again tomorrow, definitely, and it's a film that I could watch many, many times and probably get different aspects of the movie each time I watched it. Now, it would be interesting to watch it again, knowing what I know now, watching it the second time round. It was one of those movies where you're thinking, oh, that will make sense now when I watch it. So yeah, guys, I strongly recommend this. If you're looking for a really good psychological horror, then this will definitely tick that box for you guys. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's an 8 out of 10. Strongly recommended by me. So thank you for watching.